All right, here's my plan with the welding table. I want it to be higher, but I also want this to be flush. Got some new ones here, got some new casters. These are called stem casters. If you want ones like this, you need to use the word stem. See that? That's the stem. We're gonna put it right into where the leveling feet are. And to get this monster up, now the only problem we have is if the plate slides off the side, maybe I'll strap it. Cranked down really tight. We should be good there. Probably would have cracked the concrete sliding up there from that height. My plan here is to bring this forward a little bit. All right, good. This thing's got to come in. Right there. So what we're going to do is, to lower this, we're going to notch . All right, I got all 8 cut out right here, and we'll see how close we are. If we're too high, I'll take some out. If we're too low, I'll probably have to use the welder. I wonder how much less sturdy it's going to be. I mean, it's still got metal, but not much. Oh yeah, it's lighter now. Do it now. Okay, well, this looks a little bit low. That looks perfect. This, I would call it perfect. This is high. We need to add on this side and lower on this side. Okay, that's probably pretty good. Perfect. Flux right next to this camera, not great. gonna go a little slower on this one. I was going pretty fast on that one. I had to make 2 passes because I was just going too fast. I'm gonna go a little bit slower. All right, I guess I'll just play this one in real time. Yeah, you know, that's way better. That's way better. I was going way too fast. Still getting used to this 125. This is probably only like the 5th weld that I put on. Tested it, so now we just hit it. I can see a couple of pinholes there, but I mean that's pretty good for 200 bucks. That's real good for 200 bucks, to be honest with you. All right. This is so much better. It's nice and flush. Look at that. All right, here we go. It's looking good, all flushed up nice. And if I had a plasma cutter, I would consider taking maybe a 1/4 inch off this side and then cutting this side so it's flush, meaning like move it a 1/4 inch that way after I cut it and then cut it right here. Because if you can see, it doesn't really work right now. If I tried to cut that right where it is, then I would land in the holes. So I would have to either cut this entire side, 1/2 inch and everything, or cut that side first. But I'm not doing it with a grinding wheel. Could use a circular saw, right, and a cutoff wheel, but I don't know. All right. Bandsaw. Stand-up bandsaw, wood bandsaw. It's a 12 inch. It's on a stand. It's not a bench top. It's on a leveling pin, which is nice. I'm gonna just throw wheels on it, to be honest with you. Fixing a couple of doors. Let's put the cameras on right now. I'm gonna make my son a bigger playroom. Yeah. All right, let me show you this thing. Now this is an oldie. The reason you know it's an oldie is it's got Sears written on here. Most of the newer ones don't have Sears written on there, meaning newer is like 90s and above. And also I think they said like the horsepower over here or something like that. But this is a 12 inch, which is nice. This raises up to about 6 1/4. So you could put a 6x6 in here and cut it, which is really nice. The stand is rock solid. It's pretty heavy duty, and it's on these leveling pins, which I'm gonna think about. I might just put wheels on it, take those out and put wheels. Here's the motor. And I think you can see that the copper is fairly shiny. That's a good way to tell if if a motor is in decent shape. It's the same motor as the drill press. 1/2 horsepower motor. And then here is, that just has the model number, serial number, all that kind of stuff. It's got a safety on this switch, just like the drill press. This has got, it's basically probably made at the same time. That's what I'm thinking. So 70s or 80s maybe. Look at that. It's in great shape. I mean, look at the stickers still here. You believe that? Huh. And the guy that had this was a younger guy, younger than me. He had a 2-car garage. One side was just full with a boat. The other side had just tons of wood and a workbench and stuff. And he's like, I bought this Ryobi benchtop one. It's about like 1/8 the size of this thing. And he said, it's just taking up too much room. So he said it was his grandfather's. So now it's mine, 75 bucks. You really can't beat it, man. Belt sander. We got the belt. That needs to be replaced and it needs to be adjusted. The guy said that he just couldn't figure out how to adjust it. These are like clean out people. The first thing I'm noticing here is that there's no pin. A dial. It's basically like a set screw with a dial on it. This locks it. The way this thing adjusts is this. It's only adjusts two different ways here. You got this dial right here, which lowers this side or raises this side, and you got this dial here that lowers or raises this side. And you need to have them evenly up, meaning this needs to be level to the bottom, and then the tightness needs to be good too. So you don't want it to be twisted like this or like this, but you also don't want it to be too loose. Like you can't just run these all the way down because then this thing will just fall off. So I just adjusted it a little bit and I went to go do this side and then I realized there's no pin. That's not really a big deal because what we'll do is we'll just check the threads on this and we'll just put a bolt in. Yeah, so that's interesting. We'll figure that out. Let's go find a bolt that'll match this. All right, 3/8 by 16, and then we're just gonna don't have a lathe, so we'll just put this thing on the grinder and take those threads off right there, just at the edge. Well, that should do it. All right now, if you do, this is probably better to adjust it like, see, I don't know if you can tell, but wheel is spinning and it's going up. Now you have to undo this all the way to the top to get it to go down, but if we tighten this up, I'm just gonna even do it by hand. That's it, you can't go any further. So this is working nice now. All right, let's see if we can adjust this thing. Let's get this on here. Now you gotta be careful with these old, you gotta be careful with old tools. But one with these belts, you really got to be careful of because when you turn it on, the belt could just break. Right? That's happened to me before, where you're just chucking something out. Oh, does this thing work? And you turn it on, and the next thing you know, the belt snaps and just smacks you right in the face. So you don't want that to happen. And you also don't want to turn it on and not be ready to turn it off because this thing could run real quick and just rip the belt, and then you really don't want to try and adjust it like in this position, meaning it's totally out of whack. You want to use an old belt. You don't want to use a new belt. So let's turn it on and then like pretty much immediately off when we see which way it's going. See how quick I had to do that? It bound up right there. So it was going this way. I raised it a bunch. Okay, immediately keeps going this way. So let's roll this thing down. It's very slowly going that way, which means, again, we need to go back down. All right, that's decent for now. I definitely got to get this thing to go just a hair to the right. That means adjusting it a little bit more though. And I'm gonna be careful on that. I got to, this obviously needs to be tightened, but this can change. See this bar right in here? There's a couple set screws. You can pull this entire thing out, right? And put it in on this side, on the disc side. See there's a hole right there? And there's 2 more set screws. So that's cool. This doesn't need adjustment. It's just a disc sander, but it's a big one. You can see, look at my hand. All right, I just picked up just the metal cutting saw, metal chop saw, whatever you want to call it. This is DW872. Now, if you buy this thing new, Amazon, it's like $500 without the blade. I got this for $200. Not an insane deal, but decent. It's a decent deal. Right away, if you know a little bit about these type of saws, you might be saying that's a lot of money, $500 for a metal cutting saw, when they make a Milwaukee that's like $220 brand new, and it's basically the same saw. Well, it is. Everything is the same about those two saws. I'll flash that one up on the screen. Everything is the same between that saw and this one. It's a 14-inch blade max, 5-inch cutting depth max. It can do miters. They both can do miters, both 15 amps. The size is exactly the same. It's the same thing. There's one difference, and it changes the whole game here. That saw, an abrasive cutoff saw, RPMs of that motor is like 3,800 RPMs. This is 1,300. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, I don't get it. You're spending more than twice as much, 150% more for to spin 1/3. Yes, you are. Why? Because you can put a carbide blade on this now. You can't put a carbide blade on a 3,800 RPM motor. Teeth will be flying all over the place. So this you can put a carbide blade on, and the experience between an abrasive wheel, that's like a grinding cutoff wheel, right? Between that and a carbide blade, I mean, there's no comparing it. A 14-inch abrasive cutoff wheel, I mean, the sparks are going crazy. There's smoke. These things bust apart. It's loud. It's not a fun experience. The cut is okay, but carbide, virtually no sparks, virtually no smoke, pretty much no smoke. The thing is not going to break apart and go all over the freaking place. And the cuts are way better. The cuts are way better on a carbide blade. So there is a downside. The carbide blade is crazy expensive. I just ordered one online at Diablo. It was like $85 plus tax. $85 with tax. You can get a 5-pack of those abrasives for like $30. Both 14-inch. I mean, 14-inch abrasive, 14-inch carbide. So it's a lot of money to buy those carbide blades. But that's what you're paying. You're paying for that experience. You're paying for that really quality cut. And hey, if you want to, but that Milwaukee is a great deal. If you just got to make some cuts, for instance, that thing is perfect for rebar. That thing should just be called the abrasive rebar cutoff saw. That thing is, I would never cut rebar with this thing, with a carbide blade. That is a waste of the blade. I would just use a cutoff wheel on a grinder. I have a 7-inch grinder. That's what I would probably use. If I had to cut a zillion pieces of rebar, then yeah, I'd go buy that Milwaukee. Or I could put a cutoff wheel on this. But in reality, it's not going to work as well, right? You want to spin it a lot faster. So, but it would save your carbide blade for sure. Okay, this is good. We got to find a place for it. We're starting to run out of room again here, and we're going to have to do some things. All right, these pipe clamps, they're just in the way. They can't sit here. Anything on the floor is like this is in the way. And I'm thinking we got to put them, this is my thinking. This is the woodworking area, right? So let's put them in between these two windows. If you've watched my videos, you know that organizing is all about heavy-duty nails and screws, but nails are the best. And I haven't bought a nail in a million years. I have pulled all these nails, and I got just a entire thing of nails here, all pulled out of old lumber from the house. And this nail is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly straight. and it can be reused. So we're gonna make a whole bunch of clamp holders. All we're gonna do is put the clamp right in there. See this? That's it. That's all it's gonna do. You see, I mean, you watch. There's so many videos on clamp storage. I mean, just give me a break. Just put some nails and some wood and get back to work. That's pretty good. These are 3/4, not 1-inchers. Okay. And this one. Okay, so that one's gonna go up. So I just put those ratcheting clamps right here, just ratchet them onto the end of this, and I stored that little one right there. And that's it. These things are finally out of the way. And that cost me $0. I love that. All right, let's keep going. All right, it's time to get this wood out of here. And I bought a bunch of wall hangers, like brackets. I got 3 sets. They were pretty cheap, I have to say. And from the comments, they hold a bunch of weight. And this is going to be so much better because if these work out here, I'm going to do them over here too. I'm going to take that shelf down. That is going to allow me to take all the wood that's out of here and get it off of here. And this is going to be, this is better storage that's not wood. This is the way you store stuff that isn't wood, because you can't see what you have. Wood needs to be stored in open shelves so you can really take a look at it. And also they should be on multiple shelves. Like you shouldn't put a huge pile of wood on one shelf because then you got to take a whole bunch off to get to the thing you want. This is not right for wood, but it's all I had. This is right for big bins. You put big bins up here and you can label them. Now, let's get started. Let's get one set up. They come with 4 brackets each. So 3 sets, 4 brackets each. And they're 60 bucks per set. So 4 brackets for 60 bucks. Well, wouldn't you know it? I'll tell you what, these screws, they aren't that bad. Everybody was talking about the garbage that they gave you. But this is what they're giving you. This is what I was going to use. This is like a number, I don't know, what is this? This might be a number 12 or something. It's too short though, that's for sure. At least I think it's too short because it's got to go through drywall. But the head on it is a lot bigger. Yeah, look at this. The length is just not right. I mean, I'm going to have drywall to here. This thing's only in probably an 1.5 inches, maybe. Yeah, drywall's probably to here. Yeah, that's not good enough for me. I mean, these aren't that heavy, but they're big. Oh, sawdust. Try and shake these up. Well, I'm impressed. All that wood is up there now. That's 15 pieces of 11 foot by, I believe these are 10 inches. And then these are like 1 by what, 3s? They all fit. I didn't hear any weird noises. I didn't see any strange bending. This is up there. Yep, that is up there, and that's not coming down. I mean, we'll find out in the morning, but that is up there, and I have to say, looks awesome. I mean, it really looks good. The only thing I'd be worried about is pressure treated, because pressure treated is crazy heavy. I just moved a bunch of pressure treated and some of that pine over here. Now, I looked up the weight of these. This is a 1x6 pressure treated 8-footer. Weighs probably about 15 pounds dry. A 2x6 10-footer wet weighs 40. So 1x6 wet 10-footer should weigh 20. These are 8-footers and they're dry. So I'm going to go with 15 pounds each. And I got, what is that, 7. And then I got 8. So 15. So actually, that's not that heavy, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That's really only about, I don't know, it's less than 250 pounds. I got a few more. Maybe I should put them up there. I guess one tip I'll give you is I'm loading the back up first. See that? Clearly, you load the front up. There's more the moment on that. You know what I mean? The leverage. It's just a lot heavier for those brackets. But all right, let's keep on. Let me load it up, and I'll let you know how many I get up there. Okay, well, I got 20. I got 20 1x6 by 8-footers up there. So that's 300 pounds. Just the pressure treated is 300 pounds. And then I got the pine, which is, I'm assuming that's less than 100. So let's just call it 400 pounds up there. And no noises, no weird creaking, no flexing. And that's, oh, I'm sorry. This is 3 brackets. Holy moly. That's amazing. I'm freaking really impressed now. 3 brackets, about 400 pounds, 375, 400. And it just took me no time to install these things. This is amazing. This is 120 bucks for these brackets, and I got one left over. Geez. Okay, well, let's get this side cleaned up because we got a monster project we're bringing in here. We need some long-term storage, which is this area. All right, I tell you, man, I haven't had the shop this clean in I don't know how long. It's amazing how much stuff we've put in here, yet it's still clean. It's just goes to show you what organizing and having the right tools and in the right spot and cleaning up and keeping things in good shape can do for you. And as you can see, I got this light here. I need light in this area. We're gonna work on that. But this central machinery, I put wheels on it, and as you can see, I also had to put some bracing, and that's because as soon as I put these wheels on, this entire frame just bent up, and the thing just went to sleep on me. It just This is not working. Whoa! This thing just completely bent up on me. So I welded 2 pieces of angle iron right there, 1/8 inch, and then I welded all these corners together. And now it's standing up good. I got this thing solid now, and I have some new belts. They're underneath there in that box, and I need to get some 9-inch rounds. And all this stuff right here has got to go up. Call this upstairs, and I'm working towards that. I just need to keep putting up these shelves. I gotta tell you though, I don't know if I have enough room. I just don't know if I have enough room. I'll keep buying them if I can hang them up. But I'm a little bit like, do I have enough room? I don't know. I'm gonna move this thing. This thing's gonna get out of here. I'm working on a separate video, and it involves moving this out of here. So this is gonna get out of here. That top shelf's gonna get out of there. And we'll put all that stuff on the top shelf in this cabinet, but I just got to find the right spot for this cabinet because once I fill it up, it's not getting moved. I've been really racking my brain about what to do over here. Once I get this storage cabinet into a spot and I start filling it with things, there's no moving it because all the stuff that's going to go in here is like tippable things. So we got to make sure we pick the right spot. And I was originally going to put it over here. See how we got this? This was my father's and it was my grandfather's. Now it's mine. And I don't think it's in the right spot. I'm starting to think now everything that's like storage should go on this back wall because there's no outlets here. Like originally I was going to take this, I had it right here and I was going to put it there and I was like, I'm going to screw up this outlet. So now I'm thinking that there's no outlets over on this wall. And I should put everything that's storage on that wall because the other day too, I was like, man, every time I want to turn on the lights for this thing, I got to go over here and flip this switch. I really need to put this over here. There's an outlet here. I can have lights, boom, done. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to rearrange this and then we'll see how it looks. I was going to move this thing and then I was like, you know what? This could go really wrong, so maybe I should just turn the camera on. So this is metal cabinet and it's full, basically full. And we're going to try and put it over there, hopefully. Come on! Oh. Okay. One more time here. Okay. Oh yeah. Nothing. Oh yeah, this is like nothing. So, take a break here for 1 second. Oh geez, look at those tires. Tires totally flat. Yeah. We just moving it further away. I guess I gotta tip it back and all these videos just turned into me lifting heavy stuff. And then we're going to take this, put this here. We're going to have to screw that to the wall for sure. And now that we have this cleaned out and we have this cabinet in the spot it's always going to be, I'm going to clean off this top shelf, remove it, and then we're going to be ready for more wood storage up here. I ordered another set of those brackets. All right, I just picked up this Wilton drill press vise. This is a 4-inch. It's, I don't know, maybe it was like 70 bucks or something like that. And I haven't even opened it up yet, but I can already tell that if this is a drill bit in here, obviously it's real close. So we're gonna have to adjust this. This bag just came in it. This is the first time opening it. See, it's already in, see, it's still in plastic. And it looks like they give you the part numbers of the different stuff. See, it says jaw right there. So if you break something, you can just order the part number. That's cool. So 4-inch jaws, but how far does it open? Seems like it opens a little bit further than that. Yeah, just a hair further, maybe 4 1/4. Which makes sense. You need to get something in there that's 4. Looks like these Allen keys are, there's a set screw here for the jaw. And obviously there's set screws in here. You probably saw that in here. And it looks like they're 2 different sizes. I'm not sure why they did that. All right, so we're way far away here. Now, I've never adjusted this thing before, but this lever right here does it. What does it do, though? I'm not completely sure. And why don't we take this thing off of here, because who knows what's going to happen. Let's see what happens. Can I turn? Oh, geez, okay. That turns. Oh, geez, yep. All right, I was right about that. It was just going to fall. So we see the line of where it was. All right. In my eyes, it needs to go down a little bit further. So let's get my knee on here. The drill bit just needs to make it past. That's perfect. Good. Definitely something I need. It's one of these drill press vices. Okay. I'll link to this in the description. I traded my friend John a light up Winchester ammunition sign. I don't know, maybe it's 40 years old, maybe something like that. I would say it's 80s. And it's a real cool sign. It has a clock in it, but the clock didn't seem to work. I remember it spinning around real fast, but now it doesn't work anymore. It just lights up. But it's a real cool sign. I gave him that sign, and he gave me these. These are like machinery dollies. This is 1. This is 2. And this is a different type of one, but this is the 3rd one right here. Not this. That's a creeper I just bought. This one is by Shop Fox. It's the name right there, Shop Fox. And this one, and the other one, yeah, right here. Mobile Base, HRUS 330. I looked this up, and this is for a specific machine, a Delta belt sander, and it looks like it's 2 of the exact same ones, and they're like 3-wheeled. But I think they're going to be useful. I'm fairly certain I can modify them, even just by welding some steel onto it and drilling some holes. I bet you I can modify these for any machinery that I want. But they roll nice, and I'm going to be using this on that bandsaw. This bandsaw is awesome. Well, hold on, disregard that, what I just said there. Let me change what I said. Bandsaws are really awesome, and I've gotten a lot of use out of this one, but they can be finicky, and they take up a lot of room. They really do, and they're extremely heavy too, so it's tough to move them around. But I think if we just put it on this thing, man, it's going to be a whole lot more useful. Right?
Yeah, it's heavy and it digs into your hands.
So let's think about it this way. What we'll do is we'll lift it up like this. Now you want? Yeah, just put that corner in. Just one corner is all we need to get this thing up. And then I'll pick this up and adjust that.
Cord on the other side.
I probably should just come in here and just tack these legs down so that I know that they're not going to move. It's barely tacked. Because the one thing we don't want to happen is this thing to like hit a pebble when I'm rolling it around and then it stops short and tip over. Because if that happens, then that thing could fall on your foot and you're finished. Yep. Ground would be nice. These grounds are terrible, but it is what it is. We gotta get this done. Yeah, let's push this thing around and see if it... I guess the real test is... Beautiful. This is what I need. Oh man. This completely changes this tool. Man. This is so much more useful now. Because I can get it out of the way. Now it has leveling pins, or I don't know what you call it, like making it, makes it stop rolling. All you gotta do is twist these dials right here. And now it's locked. Oh. All right, beautiful. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's try and put a new belt on this thing. I think I'm asking for it by doing this, but we gotta get a new belt on this because if we don't, it's useless. All right, so, oh, okay, I got a pencil mark right there. That's good. And then let's put a pencil mark on this one. All right, so I got 2 pencil marks, and we're a hair below them. And we're going to lower this. And we're going to lower that. Get this thing out of here. And that's one. All right, now the belts I got are these. These are like zirconia. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's basically a cloth, and they're super strong. And you can use metal on these. I mean, you can use metal with the other ones, like the typical ones, but you're just going to burn through them real quick. These you can do anything with. They're real strong. I'll link them in the description. It's like a 3-pack for I don't know, $25 or something like that. Well, when things are the right size, that's always nice. Let me get it right. Now, one thing I should point out is the old belt's going to stretch. So it's when you make a mark here, it's probably not exactly like that. It's probably a hair less because this belt is brand new. So let's turn it on and turn it off quick. Let's plug it in first. Oof, ran straight off. Still seems a hair loose, so we're just going to turn this up. Now we're talking. Yeah. This thing should really be able to turn more, a lot more,
because it doesn't seem like it's aligned.
See that angle? That should be 90. That is not 90.
But this thing is all the way adjusted, which makes me feel like that pin is screwed up, possibly. I don't know, should I risk whacking it with a mallet?
Did that even do anything? I doubt it. I guess if we took this thing off and bent it. All right, now we're talking.
Seems like it's it right there.
Oh, we're on fire. We're on fire. Okay, so we're on fire. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so, okay. So, in it, you know, one of these embers flew off and hit this rag, which, you know, I clean up everything with this, oil, acetone, everything. So, it caught on fire. So, and then it caught my Fat Maxes on fire. Yeah, now I've crunched it up so much that I can't even get this thing in there. We should just whack this thing. Bang did it. We should just do it. A good whack. Oh, what am I talking about? A whack. I got a press. Well, it's definitely bending. All right, so that's a real good bend right there. That's nice. Let's see if that works on here. Oh yeah. Yeah. Should silicone spray that, but yeah, this is this is way better. Yeah, so sorry about this view with the light in the back, but this is it right now. This is perfect. This thing works. Squished this a bit, but I guess I didn't have to. I just bent this rod with the press. That's it, and we're 90. Yeah. Yeah, it's sanding even. But I have to say, I still feel like it's still a hair loose. When it's loose, it's dangerous because you could like put a corner in here and it'll catch. It's not terrible, but it's not great. This thing's supposed to cut. This thing's supposed to sand metal too. So you can see, probably, maybe, let me picture the other side. Yeah, so you can see here,
I picked one with a dirty end so that we could sand it and see what's left. You can see it's dirty here and dirty here, so it wasn't making full contact, but I also don't know if this was a straight cut. It definitely seems like the belt sander and the grinder, like the bench grinder, they're going to be good, tools, but they're not really doing the same thing. So definitely, if I wanted to clean up something like this, I'm going to use the belt sander with this belt. But it's made to do metal and wood, not just wood like your normal sander like that. So I still got to replace those. Yeah, that's great. All right, let's put this back in the corner.
Here's where we're at as far as organization is concerned. I got that thing on the wheels. I got it over here now. That's great. I gotta return this 6x6, garbage 6x6. And everything else seems all right as of this moment. I was able to get these bins up here because I moved a lot of the wood onto this side, which is nice. And still a lot more stuff up there, but not that I'm going to be doing in this video. And this is got to get returned to my friend Jamie. I'll do that soon. And we never really had a chance to get these couple saws going, but I'll be doing more videos in the future. This is really though the end of like the big shop renovation. Like I would call this the part 2, and this is the end of it. I'll do little stuff because I still got to get this kind of in order over here. But we're going to be doing some work to end this video. We're going to go back to the welding table, and there's a couple things I want to do. I'll explain the first thing I want to do is I ended up really deciding that I want to cut this off. I want to get this closer to the wall, and I just want it to look better. So we're going to cut it. We're not going to cut this side. I'm not going to worry about this now. I'm going to leave it. It's nice and flush. I'm going to cut this off, but I'm going to leave enough meat where if I want to move it this way, I could, and then cut it again. So we'll cut it somewhere in there. But yeah, it'll look neater. It'll get me closer to the wall. And we're just going to be cutting it with a circular saw. And an abrasive wheel, a 7-inch abrasive wheel on a cheap Black & Decker circular saw. I just want to see if it works, and I just prove to you that it can work. And then if you want to do it, you can. So let's roll this thing out of here, and we'll switch the cameras. All right, I guess while I'm moving this, I'll talk to you quickly about the stuff that I sold, because you don't see anything here. I got rid of that storm door. Guy bought that off of me for $75. Had no key, but it was brand new, just didn't have a key. And I sold the dog box, if you watch that video. I got $325 for that. And I think I paid $200 for it, to be honest with you. But I sold it in better condition than I bought it. So I replaced that carpet. And the lock is a lot better now. And here's the story on the chairs. Those chairs, I'll put some video up of it right now just to remind you of what they were. These Pierre Paulin chairs, they really got to go. I just got to put them on Marketplace, and I would assume that they'll go pretty quickly. They're pretty rare and expensive. I got those chairs for free, along with 2 other Pierre Paulin chairs called Little Tulips. The story is that I was driving in town to go pick up some pizza. And I'm a big, huge mid-century modern furniture, like just lover. And I've collected and bought tons and tons of stuff over, I would say, 20 years, maybe even more than that. And as I was driving around the back of this pizza place, out of the corner of my eye, I see these 2 bright chairs. And I'm like,
Okay, well, I don't know exactly what those are from this distance, but I need to pull over because it was part of a big junk pile of stuff. So I pull in and I look at them and I'm like, oh man, I'm pretty sure I know what these things are. And I couldn't really place the name of the designer, but I know I've seen them before. So I pull up and I get out of the truck and there's a guy there and he's emptying out garbage. And I said, hey, what you doing with these chairs here? And the 4 chairs. And he's like, dumpster. They're going in the dumpster. It's like, my brother-in-law passed away and we're just clearing out his stuff. And I'm like, you gonna throw these chairs out? He's like, yeah, you want them? He's like, then I don't have to pay to throw them out. And I was like, all right, I'll take them. So I take them, I throw them in the back of the truck. They were in bad shape, covered in cat hair, and they smelled like smoke. And they were in rough shape, but they were free. And I knew that I had a good chance of being able to clean them up. So I brought them home, and immediately I saw the Artefort stamp on the bottom of the little tulips, and I'm like, yeah, I know what these are. Those new are like $1,500 each, and I love those chairs. I have them at our dinner table, and I sit on this dark gray one basically every single day I'm sitting on it. The orange slices, those new are like, I don't know, $4,000 or something like that. I Bissell spot cleaned them forever. And then I used this. I'll show you this. Hold on one second. And then to get the smoke smell out, I used this. This is an ozone machine. It's a small one. I'll link to it in the description. And it produces O3. And this is the only thing that will kill smoke smell. If you have a house that's been, somebody smoked, be it for years in there, the way they get it out is they bring a humongous one of these things, massive industrial strength, and they just pump the entire house with O3, with ozone, and it just kills the smell, it just kills it. And that's what I did with this. I put the chairs into leaf bags and I ran this. And I had this end sticking out of the leaf bag, so it pulled in good air. And I had this end in, and it would just fill the entire leaf bag up, and I just set it up for hours and just kept going and going and going. The good ones, the big ones of these, have like a hose that comes out. And they use it for cars too. That's another one, a bigger one for cars. And they run a hose out the window and they'll tape the thing closed. So it's pulling in fresh air and producing O3 out of here. And I did that for hours and hours and hours, and I got them to not smell like smoke anymore. And then I got all cat hair off of them. And they were worth something. And I sold those 2 orange slice chairs for $1,000. I had them up there for $1,250. Somebody gave me $1,000 for them. I said, they're yours. Could I have gotten more? Probably. They went basically instantly in under a week. Somebody drove 2 hours to pick them up. Those little tulip chairs, I freaking love those things. They're so comfortable, incredibly comfortable, and I'll never sell those. And I'm just really happy that I was able to save them. All right, if this works, I'm going to be really impressed. I bought a bunch of these Milwaukee cutoff wheels. 7-inch cutoff wheels are for a 7-inch grinder, which I have, but I'm not going to use the 7-inch grinder. We are going to use this Black & Decker old circular saw. Oh, I got to take the blade off this. The bolt was missing from this, and I just recently was able to replace it with just a washer. A washer and just some random bolt. So let's get that off of there. And this is a 13 amp. This is not even anything special. But I believe it will work if we go slow enough. I think that's the key. If I just, it's not going to work. You might be wondering, why are you using this piece of junk? 2 reasons. One is that I want to see if it can do it. And if I burn a motor on a circular saw, I don't want it to be my good one. Are you going to be able to see? I'm going to have to move you. I forgot to say, this thing has a laser. Can you believe this? All right, let's see what happens here. a whole bunch and just cut the top. It did it. Oh man. We're going to send it back through and we're going to cut those supports. Should just pop. Look at that. Black and Decker. Black and Decker, you're impressing me right now. Look at that. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. All right, well, if you don't know what this is a Wilton vise. It's a tradesman. It's a 1765. This thing is a monster. And it weighs probably 75 pounds. So it's this is like the holy grail of new vices, let's say. I would call this, like, if somebody wants to buy a new vise, this is what they aspire to getting. You know, kind of my rule was here is that I was, you know, for doing these shop upgrades, I wanted to be able to get stuff, you know, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, estate sales, yard sales, that sort of stuff. This one was at a yard sale. It didn't sell, and then I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and I bought it. With tax, this thing goes for about $1,000, and I got it for $350. Had to drive 2 hours each way. More than worth it. It's brand spanking new. This is not just old in the box. This is brand new, and geez, I tell you. If you look long enough, you will find deals. This was an incredible deal. I've had this now for a few weeks, and I've been waiting to set it up. I haven't used it yet. Trust me, I wanted to. I actually had it hidden behind some blocks of wood because I didn't want it to show during this video and in other videos that I've been posting. Not that it's a big deal, but you know, I like a little continuity in my videos. You know, I'm not getting millions of views or anything, but I still like the continuity. Now, the question is, would I ever bought this on my own for $1,000? No way, I couldn't do it. I mean, I would want one. I mean, I wouldn't want one like, oh, this thing's worthless. No, it's freaking amazing. I would kill to have one of these things, but you can't spend $1,000 on a vise. And this is not the one with, there's one they make, it's a tradesman, but it has a coating on it. And it's meant for to be installed on a truck, like a service bed. This is not that one. This is a shop one. It's a 1765, and that means this is 6.5 jaws. That's what this is, 6.5. Now where are we gonna put it? Well, they give you this template. There's two tools that I do not have that, you know, I wish I had, but you know, it's something like this situation where you're not going to spend the money. I mean, it's a lot of money. I don't have a plasma cutter, and I don't have a mag drill. A mag drill would be perfect to install this because we need to drill an 11/16 hole. And we also need 5/8 bolts, and they got to be grade 5. 11/16. I ordered a drill bit right here, brand new drill bit to make this cut. I'll link to this in the description. It wasn't that expensive. It might have been $15 with tax. But how do you drill it? How do you drill through 1/2-inch plate? How do you drill through a 1/2-inch plate without a mag drill? Well, I'm going to use the drill press. Sounds crazy, but it's a stand-up drill press. So we should be able to roll this table right over to the drill press and get it lined up. That's what I'm thinking. All right, I got you a front row seat for this thing. Let's see what happens. Well, I got my knee bracing it so it doesn't wobble. It's a lot better now. Oh yeah, that's way better. I'm using this, Tap Magic. See that? Cutting fluid. I'll link to this in the description. I would say this is pretty much the best. If you watch that farm project or Project Farm guy, he tested this stuff and it was the best. I love that guy. There it is. Okay, one down. All right, it looks like that one, I'm not gonna be able to get it. All right, it is what it is. I'll drill that one by hand, unfortunately. I don't wanna drill it by hand, but I will. Well, the bit so far has gotten the job done under non-perfect conditions, I would say. Bolted down drill press would help. This is dangerous. I'll be honest with you. It's dangerous. Drilling a hole like this by hand is pretty dangerous because these things bind and they'll just snap your wrist. So you gotta be very careful, you gotta go very slow, especially when you get close to the end. Yeah, there we go. You think a drill press is important, huh? Jesus. This drill is smoking. Look at this. This thing goes like this. Okay. I don't know. I don't think this is a go right here. I think this one that I drilled by hand is all screwed up. It must have walked on me. I didn't know it. Yeah, you can even see right here. It's off. There's no way to fix that, unfortunately. I mean, I could weld this whole thing up and drill it again, but I'm not doing that. So we'll put 3 bolts in and then maybe a smaller bolt. Okay, I put together a little mishmash of bolts here. Should work. These are all grade 8. And these are 3-inch. I'm going to use these on the front. And then these holes are going to go through a tube, so I got them just a little bit shorter here. So let's put this in, and we got to get the impact. Okay, everyone. I am really excited to have this vise. This is going to be great. There's no doubt about it. I could put anything in this. One thing I should point, a couple of things I want to point out about this. One is this is not a press. You can break this vise. If you put a pipe on this, you can break it. Got to be careful about that, but they sell the replacement parts if you screw up, or if you buy something like this. Next thing is that you really can't just go and have $1,000 and just plunk it down on a vise like this, because you got to have something to attach it to. You can't attach this to some wooden bench like I have over here on wheels. This thing weighs 70 pounds. You put something in here that weighs 20, 30 pounds, you get 90 and 100 pounds on the corner of your workbench. You better have a heavy workbench. This bench weighs over 900 pounds alone. So that's great. You can put this on the corner. It's a 12-foot bench. Doesn't matter that it has a lot of leverage here. And rotate the vise whichever way you want. So if I have the bench out there, I can rotate it and I can work on the corner. It's pretty close to this wood stove. Don't really care about that. The wood stove's not on that much, and it might actually be nice working over here with the wood stove right there. But it's not like this thing's going to get so hot that you can't use it. That's not going to happen. Cutting that little wing off the back of this, I was able to get this now, 3 inches closer to the wall. Very, very happy about that. Can't believe that Black & Decker cut that. I'm going to send that video. I'm going to send this video to Black & Decker. Let them know that the 10-year-old circular saw cut a big piece of steel off. But that's it. So there's a lot of things left to do. I'm not going to do a part 3, but I'm going to do little videos here and there, working on X, working on Y. And, you know, I'll filter them in as the months go on. We're going to get this thing into shape, but we're not going to do another. This is another, this took me like a month and a half to get to this point for part 2. The continuity is all screwed up now. This is something that's important, is that I really have a big job that I got to bring in here, but I couldn't do it and then have this video where it's like half without the big job in here and then the other half with the big job, and you're like, what is this big job going on? Right? So I had to get this thing done, and we got to start moving on. So that's it. So let's wrap this up, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks.